Hi guys, I'm Matt from KJP Select Hardwoods. Today I want to talk to you about just some general lumber basics. If you're going to be doing a project in hardwood lumber, these are some of the things that are going to be important to know, like how you buy your lumber, thickness, lengths, widths, what type of lumber, just some general knowledge so that you know what to ask for when you're going to buy your hardwood lumber. So when you go to your local lumber store, you're going to see that the lumber is measured in quarters, and you'll see signs for 4/4, 8/4, 10/4. All that's referring to is the thickness of the lumber, and it's a fraction basically. Here I've got an example of 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, so 1.5 inches, 8/4, 2 inch, 10/4, which is 2.5 inch, and 12/4, 3 inch. Of course, most stores are going to have 4/4 and 8/4, the two most common sizes, but it's nice to know that you can get all the thicknesses in most of the species. One thing to note about hardwood lumber is it's usually sold in random widths. So unlike when you go to a box store and you'll see it all pre-dimensionalized to 5.25 or 7/4, when you're buying hardwood, it's usually put up random width. So one board might be 4 inch, the next board might be 10 inch. The reason they do that is the log yields a lot more when they cut it that way, so in the end they can keep the price lower for you. Another question to ask when you're buying lumber is if it's been air dried or kiln dried. Air dried lumber is in fact just that. It's been sitting on sticks, drying, usually to humidity level about 10 to 14%. If you're buying kiln dried lumber, it's been lowered in a kiln to 6 to 8%. When you're building furniture inside or for interior applications, you really want to try and use lumber that's 6 to 8% kiln dried. Doesn't not to say that you can't use air dried lumber, you just need to take account for that movement that the wood's going to have. So hardwood lumber is sold random width, right? That means we can't calculate it using lineal feet the way we would with dimensional wood from a box store. We have to use a cubic measurement. That's called a board footage. Here's 3 examples of what one board foot would look like. Here's a 12 by 12 by 1 inch thick, a 2 by 6 by 12, and a 1 by 6 by 24. All of that works out to one board foot. So when you're trying to calculate your board footage, these are the 3 things you need to remember: length, width, and thickness. Lumber grading, it's a huge subject. There's lots to know. So I'm just going to go over some of the quick basics. Lumber is sold and graded on how much clear wood there is per board. So certain grades will have certain percentages. So the most common one that lumber yards are going to sell is called Select and Better, and it needs to be 83% clear. When you think about it, that leaves room for a lot of defects on a board, but usually that's where the better part comes in. There are higher grades above Select, and that's what's included when we say Select and Better. There's also grades like 1 common and 2 common. 1 common is great if you're building cabinet doors and you just need short cutting pieces. 2 common is usually reserved for the companies that are making flooring. They're going to have lots of really short cuttings, great for doing that sort of narrow strips. At a store like KJP, we're mostly just selling Select and Better wood. So most of our customers are woodworkers that are building furniture, that are doing sort of higher end stuff where they need long, wide boards that aren't going to have those defects that they need to work around. So there you go, quick skim in some of the lumber basics that I think is important knowledge for people to know. If you've got questions or you want to know about some other topics, let us know. We plan on doing a lot of these videos in the future. Here at KJP, we have a large selection of lumber and we ship all across North America. So check us out and we'll see you soon.